Hey authors, I know yesterday you learned about hooks or leads, starting your stories in an interesting way. Well, today we're going to learn how to end our stories in an interesting way. So you need your writer's notebook. And I want you to open up to the back, to the next blank page, and we're going to title this page, Awesome Endings, or conclusions. We should know what that word means from science. Your conclusion at the end of your experiment, it's at the end, just like a concluding sentence. You're concluding it, you're ending it, okay? So we're gonna work on 3 different endings today. The first one is a feeling or thought. It's a feeling or thought. So you write your story and then you end it with a feeling or thought. For example, EX means example. For example, I love the park, or it felt great to, that's a P in it, to be home. Okay, that's a feeling or thought. I'm thinking I love the park. It felt, have you ever been on a vacation or even over at someone's house where you're having a great time, but man, it just feels good to be home and in my pajamas on the couch, lounging. We should remember that word too. Okay? So you can end your story with a feeling or thought. I'm skipping a line to keep them separated. You can also end your story with an exclamation. Long word. Exclamation. Exclamation. 4 syllables is a long word. So you might not know what an exclamation is, but I'm pretty sure you know what an exclamation mark is, right? Yes. Line, dot shows strong feeling. So an exclamation would be something that you're excited about, okay? For example, this was the best vacation ever, okay? This was the best vacation ever. I can't wait to go to the beach. I can't wait to go to the beach. And if you're writing an exclamation, something that shows strong feeling, then you probably want to end it with an exclamation mark, right? Okay, that was a lot to write, so I'll give you a second to catch up. And number 3. You can end it with a lesson or a moral. A moral is kind of another word for a lesson, something that you learned. Okay. A lesson learned, or moral. M-O-R-A-L. Okay. Moral, or the theme of the story, what we learned. Example. I learned to never forget my sunscreen. Right? I learned to never forget my sunscreen. If you're writing a story about the beach, that might be a lesson that you learn. Okay? Or next time I play at night, I'll remember bug spray. Period. Who has ever been playing at night and you are like eaten alive by all the mosquitoes, right? That could be, if you're writing a story about playing outside, that could be your lesson learned. So now what we're going to do, I'll give you a second to catch up. Now what we're going to do is we are going to go back into our stories. You should have about 4 or 5 stories, and add an ending to each story. So it's going to be okay. It's only 4 sentences or 5 sentences if you have 5 stories. So each story, you might use a different ending, because not all stories you're going to have a lesson that learned or have an exclamation, okay? So you have to reread each story to see what would fit your awesome endings the best. So I'm going to go back up front, and I'm going to reread The Park. I love going to the park with Bennett and Vivi. The first thing I notice are the green slides and monkey bars. Ew, those sweaty kids sure smell stinky. My feet love the feel of the soft, wet grass. I'm so happy to have caught up with the vendor, because I sure love tasting the salty pretzels. The birds chirping and kids laughing are music to my ears. So I'm wondering what would be the best and awesome ending for that particular story. A feeling or thought? I love the park, sure. An exclamation? I can't wait to go back to the park. Lesson learned? That one doesn't really fit my story, so I'm not going to use that one. So I can choose, do I want to use a feeling or thought or an exclamation? Or I can kind of put them both together, okay? I'm going to write, so you're not writing anything right now. The park is my favorite place to go, period. Okay? So that's my feeling. The park is my favorite place to go. Now, what you are going to do is you are going to, like I said, you're going to go into all your stories, 4 or 5 of them. You're going to decide which awesome ending would best fit your story, and you're going to write it at the bottom. Some of you may already have ending sentences, which is great, but now you've got some extra choices. So you can keep it or change it to a different ending if you want to decide. Some of you maybe are down at the bottom of the page. Guess what? Turn the page over and you can work on the back. Or you can start a fresh page. That's fine too. So use your awesome endings chart to help you. You have to reread the stories so you know which ending will fit the best. Add your endings and then have mom or dad check and see if it sounds good. Okay? We're going to be learning some more fun things to add to our writing to make it amazing and make it come to life.